Hello, everyone. I'm just typical, uh, just getting myself ready. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Wow, what can I say? It's unbelievable. These news. Let me just put this big screen. Uh, wow. I was going to do this live tomorrow because I am exhausted for some reason. I shouldn't be, but I am really exhausted. But I have been reading also the chat on Telegram about the latest news, number 55, and I think everyone is basically in shock. Uh, we are all thinking what's going on. Obviously, I think Mary is going to continue giving us more information, more news. Now, the news that we're getting now is actually from what's been happening for the last 2 months. And so there's a lot of information that's going to keep coming, I think, from Mary, and it's going to make much more sense. But I think now we are getting an idea, I think, of what's mostly what's going on there. Obviously, there is a lot of things that they don't tell us and they cannot tell us. But basically, it was confirmed by Captain Gorel and team and the crew from the other spacecraft that this was an astral attack, basically against Mary and Dorcalel. And it was done by the manipulation of the crew from the Sagittaria. Now, I think it's incredibly unfortunate. I feel for everyone involved, especially for the crew. I think, well, everybody really. Um, and I think, which is really what I was, angry about in my previous video, that this went for so long undetected. And this is what I was saying, that there needs to be protocols, there needs to be ways of dealing with a situation like this, where basically you need to do a type of audit, so these things don't happen. I mean, the attacks are going to happen, I guess, but you really need to take action and constantly be monitoring uh, the people who are working in this type of situation, which is the orbit of this planet. Now, I was reading a Telegram and a lot of the comments, and one of the things was that how are they going to make sure that the military now that is in the working or taking care of Mary and the Asterope, or she's in the Asterope? I think she is. I have it written down. I'm sorry if I get it wrong. Uh, I think so. Where Mary is, how are they going to make sure that this crew is not attacked in the same way and things start happening all over again? I mean, how are they going to know? How are they going to do this? Well, that's the job of the military, and that's what they do. That's what they do best. So how are they going to monitor this? Well, they have to bring people from outside, from Taygeta, from other planets, I don't know, and have an audit, and check from outside in here around Earth and all the spaceships of Taygetan spacecrafts, and see what's happening, and then everything is working as it should. So this is what the military is for. This is what they're trained for. They are experts on this, and in security and protection. So I think that having Captain Gorel and crew, basically the military force here, taking care of all the Taigetans that are working here. I think it's the best course. I think it's the best way to go and continue this, because they will find ways so that everyone is secure, that they are against attacks, and if there is an attack, they are ready, and they and it, it's not going to happen that 3 months go by and nobody noticed. I think that was for me kind of shocking, to be honest. And I think that that's not going to happen um, with the military force around. That's what they're there for. They know what to do, and I think I have a lot of faith in them. I am quite confident that they are going to take care of the Taigetans that are working here. And to be honest, I am feeling quite relieved mm, that they are taking over this way. I think it's necessary. There is just no way that only 30 Taigetans in a spacecraft alone for so long were able to keep going like this. Maybe it worked before for Elenym. She made a decision to be basically isolated with her crew, and I think it worked. It worked for her until it didn't, unfortunately. And why she made the decision to isolate herself, I don't know. We will never know, I guess. But knowing all this that it's been going on, and Taigetans know what Earth is about, what's going on here, I think measures should have been taken sooner. Um, but I guess we are, it's better late than never, I guess. Um, in regards to the Sarikleia crew, that is, um, everyone is talking about this, that they're saying that, Mary said that they're incompetent in doing this work. I think that they must be really, I hope they're getting better. I hope they are healing from this. Um, I was surprised that they are still here. I thought they would need a rest from this. Take a breather, as they say. Maybe go back to Taiketa for a while and come back, because I think they are needed, because they have a lot of experience with the humans. They have a lot of experience in communicating with humans. They have a lot of experience being here on orbit. And I think they have a wealth of knowledge that should be used. And so they are great people to have around. Now, I think obviously the military, now that is taking over the Sarikleia, will have to look after the crew, the previous crew of the Sarikleia. And I have faith in them that they will know what to do and how to take care, but have to give them the best care that they need. I think at the moment, they found out what was happening. Unfortunately, the Sarikleia crew was attacked, and they were being manipulated, and basically that's how it all went terribly, terribly wrong, unfortunately. I don't know how they deal with this. Sincerely, I don't know if they need rest. There is therapy that needs to go on. They need to. I have no idea how they need to deal with this. But I hope they are well. I hope they are recovering. It seems that they stayed here, and they kept working with the new crew in the Sarikleia. Now, nothing has been said about Athena Dorkalel. Jassy is still somewhere. Nobody knows. It's been a while. I think she's well. I think she's okay. She's doing things And I think she just basically needed to get away. There's too much chaos, and it was better, I think, for her to be absent in this way. I think maybe it was her way to help to be away, uh, because I think, if she was playing with um, the military crew, and Captain Gorell was not amused, I think she realized that maybe she needed a to get away for a little while and let the crew and everyone get do the work, and she just decided, to take care of herself and exit at this moment in time. So I think she will come back. I wonder how she will come back. So that's going to be quite interesting. But I think, to be honest, I think she's okay. I think she's okay. I have questions. How is Anna coping with this? She's the human one, I guess, here. So for her, an astro manipulation like this must be, I think, quite more intense than a Taigetan would feel. I don't know. I would like to know more. I'd like to know where Dor Kalel is, what he has to say about it, how he feels, if he is recovering, and I hope he's recovering well. Um, and yeah, I think um, as well we were and the Telegram chat. I'm sorry if I'm monotonous or something, but for some reason I don't have much energy, but I really wanted to do this. I was going to say something. What was it? Oh my God, I was going to say something. I cannot remember. Just one moment, please. Okay, I'm just going to say hello in the chat too. How are you? Welcome. Hello, John Wiley. How are you? Mark Harrison, welcome. Kian, hi. Hello, everybody. Hanjo, hello. Andrew says, Ellie, did you notice on the previous Space News video on the thumbnail, there was the scroll with a red crown underneath? The crown was a wolf, and underneath the wolf was a picture of the Alcyone ship. Do you think that means that the Lupi signed the Alcyone Treaty? Actually, what I know is that the Lupi, the wolf that was there, is actually the insignia that Captain Gorell uses. I think it's insignia. I don't know if it's of the Alcyone, but it's actually an insignia. It's not about the space wolves or anything about them. I think CIC mentioned that in the chat. That's what I know. And the crown means that Mary was currently in the Alcyone. She was not in the Sariclea. That's how it was interpreted. Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe it does mean what you say it means, but from what we got from the message from CIC and the chat that day, when that video was aired, that's what we learned. It was the insignia. Now, actually, and I am one of the things that did for me these last videos from Mary. I was telling you about the constant details about everything. For some reason, it just gave me basically gave me a better idea that it's not that different from here. There is a difference, I guess, I take it as from humans, but there are more people. There are more people, and it's nice to. It's not nice, but it's. I think for me was the bit of information, I guess, that I was trying to get to. Because for me, before, from just I guess a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, I was always thinking, so what it's like. I mean, am I interpreting this well? Are they getting us outside of society? Are they kind of different from us, and we cannot understand it very well? And I think that these videos, the last few videos of Mary with her details, made me realize how they are just more people. They're just more people. And we say, well, how can this happen? How can this go on for the last 3 months? Wait a minute, there's something off. There's just more people. And these things happen. It went on for 3 months. They were sick. They were not getting results. They were not getting better. For some crazy reason, uh, Dr. Sinetre did not reach out to the medical team in the Alcione. And I'm thinking, why didn't she? Well, obviously, there was a reason. And yes, she should have reached out to the Alcione. The military should have been involved a while ago, I think. And it's not so different from down here. Those things do happen. They are more people. There are people who are not going to like a Queen Mary. There are people that are going to like Queen Mary. There are people that are not going to agree with what's going on. There are people who are going to be annoyed. There are people up there who's going to hate me. There are people who's going to hate Gosha. There are people who are going to, there are just more people. And I think that the new age has done its job to make us believe that they are all love and light, that they should know better, that they have advanced technology, and this shouldn't have happened, and this is weird, something's off. And I think that the last few videos just made me realize that I know there are just more people, but I think I needed more information. I think these details did it for me. It finally did it for me that what we think of how things should work, it's actually how they should work up there, because there are more people. Obviously, there are more things that's more complex. They know about astral attacks. Here, we are completely unaware. We don't know if we're being attacked or we're not. For example, when Mary said, when she was in the Alcione, and she was saying that when she eats, her stomach, when the food goes down to her stomach, she's fine. She doesn't have problem in her stomach, digesting in her stomach. Is when the food actually comes and goes into her intestines. That is the problem. And she would toss and turn and twist, and she would pull a muscle in bed because the pain is so bad. And to be honest, that has happened to me in the most weird way. I remember once when I was quite young, I must have been 18 years old. I was here in New Zealand, and we traveled to the south of New Zealand, and we took a plane. And I was in the plane, I was fine. And suddenly, I felt, you're not going to believe this, but I felt that a sudden pain, weird sensation. We were going to the south of New Zealand, that's very close to Antarctica. And I felt that all my teeth in my mouth were just came out. They just felt, and I could feel them all on my tongue. Honestly, I could feel them, and I would move my tongue, and I would like move my teeth on my tongue and my mouth. They were all in my mouth, just there, and they were not attached to my mouth. They were all on my around there, and I could move them. I think, and I thought, all my teeth have fallen. What the hell? And I actually opened my mouth and put my hand here, so I could hold my teeth. And I thought, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? What's happening?" And I remember I opened my mouth and nothing happened. Nothing fell out. Then I touched my mouth and all my teeth were there. Nothing happened, but I could feel it. And it was shocking to me. And obviously, that I needed help. Something happened. I fainted or whatever. It was quite traumatic. Now, it didn't end here. When we arrived and landed, I was fine. I was okay. We landed, and the next day, um, what Mary described happened to me. I was in so much pain. I was tossing and turning on my bed with the most excruciating pain. In fact, I fell off the bed because I was just twisting so hard. I just, the movement of the pain was so bad. And I remember just falling off the bed and just screaming in agony. And by next day, I was kind of okay. But I remember these things happening to me, and it just never occurred to us that it could be anything other than my mind going crazy. We just leave it to, you were under stress and you basically just went insane for a little while. And obviously, I see it now that this was an astral attack. And we are completely unaware of these attacks, and we just keep going, you know. Um, but these things do happen, and I think um, hearing Mary describing this in such detail makes us also see how the attacks are towards us as well. And I think if you guys kind of start remembering some aspects, previous things that have happened, episodes of pain and things happening, weird things happening, and they take you to the hospital and they find nothing. It's been happening to me for a very long time, since I was a child, and they take me to the hospital, and they find absolutely nothing. And I now see that these are astral attacks. But for some reason, I am not dead. And I guess up there, it can go on for quite a while, and that they are quite aggressive. And as Mary said, that if they want her dead, it's because she's doing something right. So she's going to she's going to keep going forward. And I think that's quite brave of her, in all honesty. So, and the details of these last few videos have made me, I don't know what it has done for you, made me realize that it's not so different up there from down here. So, I know, I think to be honest, in all honesty, I think it has made me stronger. I don't know how you feel about this, but this to learn this and really understand it, I actually feel stronger. I feel that I am better equipped now to keep going down here, and I guess not be so afraid and not being so feeling so vulnerable at times. Uh, so this as well has helped me to move forward. And I think that's the point of these videos from Mary. It's not so much that for us to actually, be entertained. Here's this series, to be continued. What's going on now? I think it's more to see what can we get out of this. And everyone, it's a personal thing. You need to know what you're going to get out of this. Use it. Use this information. Use this information from Mary to apply it to yourself, and to make you stronger. I think that's how we can keep helping down here, to makes us stronger, and we just keep going forward. Now, let me just see what John Wiley says. Do you think Elnam assassination attempt was from a direct astral attack on her, or was it from poisoning from Dr. Senetre and company, who were astral attacked and suffering delirium psychosis? It could have been, in all honesty, I think now. But what they found out, I think, from Alanim, that it was, they found out the poison, and they found where the poison was made in a laboratory in Saturn. So there was an investigation carried out, and the poison was made there, um, was elaborated from Saturn, and she actually did eat the poisoned fruit. It's crazy. Now, who put the fruit there? That's the thing. Maybe it was someone who was, what, maybe that's when the astral attack started happening. And maybe someone from the crew and the Sariclea put the fruit there, and they were under guidance from the astral. This astral attack may have started um, when Alanim was poisoned. So it kind of made sense. It made sense. It makes sense. Um, and I think this is where the investigation from the military force is going to look into. And I don't know if we're going to get more information about this. I don't know if we're going to get information of who's done it. They definitely know now, from what Mary said. They do know who has done this, and they're going to take measures. And I guess they cannot tell us. Obviously, this is quite delicate, and when she will be able to tell us, who knows? The good thing is that I think that everything is now kind of under control. And I think that's the most important part. So I think the worst is over in that sense. They were quite vulnerable. The crew from the Sariclea, I could see them vulnerable. I mean, there was just 30 of them for such a long time in a tin can orbiting the Earth. And they were vulnerable. And I think people could see it, but because they're so advanced, because they have better technology, and we just assume that they had the security in place for them to be able to be alone like this. Nobody questioned it, and the people who questioned it, nothing was said, because they were being attacked. So I think that what we see from here, it's not really. I think we now have a pretty good idea, and are able to kind of have an opinion of what's going on up there. It's not so different from down here, which I find it extremely interesting. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I had a lot of notes here. Now, there was quite an interesting few things that were mentioned. One of the things that I liked from their advanced technology is that when Gorel went to fetch Mary's computer, and that was surprising to me, that they immersed the entire desk in some kind of blue foam that she's never seen before. And the desk arrived in a blue monolith block, semi-transparent. And and they used something like a hair dryer to dissolve this. And there she had her whole desk intact, exactly as it was in the Santa Clara, and she was able to start making her videos again quite easily. So those are the things that we think, well, if they're so advanced, how can they make these mistakes? That's because they are more people and things are more complex. And I was reading Gosha's comments there, and she said, what we are told, it's basically 10% of what's really going on. And there are so many more things that we are unaware of. And yeah, it's kind of amazing. Um, what else? I think that's basically it, guys. Um, I guess now, what I mean, to be honest, I think now that the military force is taking care of the security of the Tagetans that are working here, I think things should be more stable now. They're better taken care of. I don't think they isolating themselves now. It's a good idea. I think it's good that they have a lot more people taking care of them. And the military force knows how to take care of themselves and what precautions to take. And I have full faith in them, to be honest. Even if, for example, if the military crew that is in the Asterov, taking care of Mary and the crew, do get attacked, do have an astral attack, and they start going zombie and doing things they shouldn't be doing, there's always going to be an audit from the military, outside audit, constantly monitoring those military crew in there. So it's not going to happen anymore, I think. Uh, and I'm not worried in that regard, in all honesty. They're going to take precautions and think this is not going to happen again. It might happen, but they are going to find out sooner than later. I mean, 3 months, that's way too much. That's too long. Now, I hope Dr. Senetre is being taken care of along with Kara. I don't know what they're going through. It's quite harsh. I don't know what else happened. I don't think we are told everything that went on, but I think it's sufficient. And I guess if there are people that need to be returned to Temer or Era, and they just cannot be here anymore working, they are going to send them back in one way or another. But anyone else who stays here and keeps working, it's a good thing. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they can contribute quite a bit because they have experience with this earth talking to us. So I think it's good to keep them here, and in that way, yeah, I think. What do you guys think? It's quiet here in the chat. What else is there? It's going to be interesting what other information Mary is going to give us. What news? It would be interesting to see. I think Gosha tomorrow is going to do a live, and she's going to, I guess, give her opinion and give us more information that maybe I don't know what other information she can give us, but her opinion, from talking to the Tagetans all these years, it's going to be quite interesting to see what she says about this, how she feels. It's interesting because yeah, no, I'd rather not say that. Maybe if I talk to Gosher again, I can say that with her here. Yeah. So that's it. Any hi Robert from Australia, how are you? You are sad. I am here listening and I'm so sad about it all. It is quite sad, in all honesty. It's quite sad. Yeah. Um, it is really sad. It's why I was so angry, upset the other day because this shouldn't have happened and stayed like this for so long. Mm, and it's I don't know. Mm, yeah, I mean, I think decisions were made. Um, at the time of Eleanor, Queen Eleanor made a decision to isolate herself, and she saw that as the best choice. I think the isolation maybe is why they got attacked. They found out that they were isolated, and they thought, well, this is a great idea. No one is going to check on them. No one's going to come in, so they're not being monitored. What a great idea. Let's do something and nobody's going to know because they are isolated. So I think it was used against them, most certainly. And that's the thing with the attacks. Anything that they do, the enemies will try to use it against them. So no matter what you do, things will be used against you because that's what they do. If they attack, they are always going to find something and use it against you. And I think in this regard, the isolation, they used it. Nobody knew, nobody, questioned it because they were being manipulated. So they didn't say anything, which, we did see the signs. I mean, actually, we down here could see the signs. Um, Mary got sick and she was not getting better. And she was saying, the treatment was, I thought she was exaggerating when she said they were torture. I think, how can the treatment be torture? They were probably torture. And I thought she was exaggerating. I exaggerate. So I thought she was exaggerating like me. So maybe they were torture, the treatments. And I'm thinking, shouldn't that give you, isn't that an alarm? I thought it was an alarm to say, wait a minute, what's going on here? She's not getting better. Why isn't she getting better? Why are we not hearing that a medical team is coming from another ship or from Tegeta or they're trying to get help? That for me was weird. I mean, it was weird. It shouldn't have happened. But that's what isolation does, and it's quite unfortunate. Um, yeah, I mean, it's what happens, I think, to us than here. What I was saying, I think I don't know if I said it in here in the English channel or in the Spanish channel that even I think all starseeds, a lot of the starseeds, we isolate ourselves and we stay home, because we don't want to go out into society in the matrix because it's just insane. And for me, when I isolate myself so long in the house, I start going a little crazy and I may start doing things that I shouldn't be doing, um, because, you can get manipulated. And I think the negativity here on earth, when you are isolated, it works against you. It can work against you. So it works against us here and it works against them up there. So down here, things are not so different from up there. Uh, yeah. Robert Australia says, so lost for words right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think everybody is. They're just, some people went into cognitive dissonance. I could see it in the chat. They were like, how's it possible? This is not possible. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Some people got really annoyed. Everybody's just, some people were lost for words, as you say. And we were just stunned. In all honesty, we are stunned. Mm, yeah. I guess, you know, all I can say, from what I guess I know, what I feel I know, because I cannot tell you I know, because I can't really remember. I don't know if I can remember, but I cannot put it into words. I cannot put it in my brain and explain it. But this, what makes me feel better is that the military force is taking care of us. I have faith in them. And this, to me, it comforts me because I know this is going to, it's going to help. Having the military force here doing their job and taking over security wise, protection wise, is the best way. That's what you need. It's what you need. It's what they need right now, most certainly. So I guess we just have to have a deep breath and just send healing energy if they can if they can use that from us. I don't know. um I really don't know. uh yeah, I don't know if that helps them. Maybe it doesn't. um Mark Harrison says maybe when the Taigetans finish building their ships, we'll see more proactive things happening. Yeah, I think they're quite active right now. I think after finding out who's done this, because they found out, they are very active. I think they are going full on this. I'm sure of it. Most definitely. And I don't think they're going to tell us much, unfortunately. But they are full on this. Yeah, they're full on. Mm. John Wiley says, I wonder if Anika's death had anything to do with an astral attack years ago. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I still remember how they were so sick. Remember Svaru? Svaru or Vera? She was really sick. I mean, she was blind from one eye. Yeah, maybe this went on for a long time and it was just undetected. Who knows? When I think this started happening, maybe when the Taigetans decided not to provide military support to the Federation. This may started happening from there, because before that, I guess they didn't have this attack because they were being used by the Federation. So that's why a military force protecting the Taigetans was not in place in that regard, because it wasn't needed. They were not being attacked. But after the Federation removed their military force from being used by the Federation, I think that's when everything just went downhill. And Taigetans, I mean, why would you think the Federation would do something like that? There's obviously, I'm talking about the regressive part of the Federation, not the entire Federation, the regressive part of it. They didn't see it coming. They just, you just don't see it. And I understand that. I understand it. Yeah. So I think that's when the attack started, in one way or another. Yeah. They were of no use to the Regressive Federation that they get. And so they were attacked. And I think when they removed the military force from the Federation and they started helping us, talking to us, giving us information, I think it got worse. It got worse and worse. In some ways, as Mary said, we are doing something. Things are working, because we sometimes think, "What is it working? What we're doing here? Is my frequency working here in any way? Am I of any use?" We are. We see it. Unfortunately, we see it in that way. And I guess it shouldn't have come down to this. And I guess the best thing is that nobody else passed, was killed, assassinated. And let's hope Aneka was the last one in all this. I wonder what DK is, Dor Kalel. I wonder where he is, where Athena is. Nobody has said anything. Okay. What else? What else are you guys thinking? I'm trying to remember what I learned, what I read in the chat in Telegram. Well, that's about it. They were worried that how can we make sure, or they make sure, that the military force that is in the Asterope were, taking care of Elenim and crew, they are not going to get attacked and everything's going to happen all over again. Well, I think that they're going to be audited by people from outside the Asterope. So I'm not worried about that. And to be honest, I'm not worried now, as I was before. I'm not. I'm quite confident now there with that. You're thinking about Jassy, Robert. Robert from Australia. Robert, Australia, sorry. I think she's okay. I wonder how she's going to come back. Is she going to come back differently? And for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, I could be entirely wrong. Maybe I am entirely wrong here. But can you imagine if she comes back grown up? And not as a 10-year-old? I could be really, really wrong here. I think she's okay. And I think she's going to show us that she's okay in one way or another. She's probably going to show something to Gosha as she is walking down the street, going on her walks in the forest. She's going to give a message, I don't know, one way or another to Robert, to us, if we just pay attention. And basically, she's going to say she's okay. And I think she's okay. She's okay. Robert Australia says, I think she's going to do the same again to help with the issues currently. Yeah, she's going to, I think so. Yeah, certainly. Oh, I didn't see the other one. Oh my gosh. The chat jumped. Okay. Robert Australia says last time she went away, she was tapping into the Earth grid. I think she's probably going to do the same again with the help of the Asian. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I think she's helping. She's definitely helping. But it's interesting that she wasn't immune to this. Yeah. So I hope she's okay. I think that's why everyone's worried as well. She wasn't immune to this. She was still suffering. Or maybe she wanted to keep everybody company in some way. She was accompanying them in one way or another. She was keeping everyone company, and then she went away. Who knows? John Wiley says, "I wonder if Jassy is on her island." Probably, yeah, taking a rest. Yeah, I can see that. And Kian says, "Why does DK know too much?" I think because he's about 10,000 years old. I think he knows a lot, and he goes back in time, forward in time. He jumps. Uh, yeah, I think he knows a lot, and yeah, I think he is a quite an asset to the crew, and all the things he must know. I mean, he's been here a long time as Dor Kalel. Actually, I think he's about 10,000 years old, something like that. I don't know where I learned about this, something like that. But he's not like 1,000. No, he's like about 10,000. I don't know how they can calculate those, but kind of to give you an idea. So that's how he knows too much. That's what I think from what I understand. Mark Harrison says her island is connected to the Great Pyramids. Yeah, probably. She's helping in that way. We should tap into that to help us, because down here we are also quite shocked, and I think we're shocked, but I think we should be relieved in some ways. I think we should be. Um, Things are now under control, in all honesty. Um, but I guess down here, it's going to take us longer to be okay about this and moving forward. Mm, we are now, I think, maybe are going to be suspicious about everyone. Is everything working okay? Mm. Marvin Alvarez, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. That's all right. Okay, what else is there? Now, a lot of people were talking about the incompetence that the Sarikleya crew I don't know. I think that they just need to be trained in a military aspect. I don't know. I think maybe they just need more training, because things here have escalated. They, you know, when things escalate, you also need to, train for this and get more knowledge, and go back to school and learn things. So I think that's what's going to happen with the crew. They are going to be trained to be able to cope better here. So I think the incompetence here, I'm not going to take it as something, um, you know, um, you're incompetent and you shouldn't have been here and you need to go back to Temer. No, I don't see it that way. I don't think it was necessary for them to to have more knowledge or abilities than the ones they had. I think things here escalated quickly, and they just didn't see it coming. They surprised you. Things surprised them. It's normal. It happens, and I think they just need further training, like we all do. I mean, it happens to everybody, to you, to me. When things get more difficult, you need more training. As simple as that. To me, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Um, you know, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think incompetence in the way that the Tangetans are incompetent or they sent an incompetent crew here. No, I don't think so. They were competent to what was happening here at that moment in time. And things just escalated. That's all. I think that's all. Now, the other interesting thing, what people were saying in the chats and the Telegram chats, Cosmic Agency, is that what did Mary say? What did she meant that the Sagittarius crew, the 30 crew members of the Sagittarius, do not represent Taygeta society? I think that uh, the crew of the Sagittarius have been here for a long time, and they followed a protocol that was imposed as a good measure by LNM to be isolated, to protect themselves, which it worked for her. So there was nothing wrong here. And they were isolated and they were influenced by the earth low frequency. And they were influenced, so they acted with that influence. Their behavior changed and they were attacked. So I think in that way, that's what Mary meant, that the Sagittarius crew does not represent how the Tagetan society is or behaves. No, because they were here for a long time, isolated, and they were being attacked without anybody knowing about it. How long has this been going on? Maybe it hasn't been going on for 3 months. Maybe it's been going on for more. Maybe other attacks had been going on and nobody knew about it. And being down here in orbit, so low in orbit here, they were influenced, and that was reflected in their behavior. So that's what I think Mary meant, that it doesn't represent the Tagetan society. That's how I interpret that. We'll see. Maybe she'll clarify. Mary will clarify in her next videos what she meant by that. Some people were quite sad that the Sagittarius crew was, called incompetent, and then, that they do not represent the Tagetan society, and people were quite sad. Maybe it was things, it was too harsh on them. But I think these things happened. When you have enemies attacking you, people will get affected. Things will go wrong. People that should not do things will do things, and things will happen. And this is what happened. It was unfortunate. And, they took the whole, they were collateral, as they say, because the assassination attempt was against Dorcalel and Mary. So I think that's why they stayed here and kept working, and they apparently are working well and getting along well with the new crew in the Sadi Clea. And it's amazing to me. I am impressed, to be honest, that they are still here, that they are okay, that they are moving on. I am impressed, sincerely, after all that. Yeah. I think I would need a rest. I think I might go, I would go back to Taygeta and take a breather, have a bit of therapy, and come back. So they stayed. It's kind of interesting. It's amazing. They have a lot of knowledge. They've accumulated a lot of knowledge throughout the years. It's good to use that knowledge. They're here to help. They are here to help. So let's use everything that we have. Yeah, I think we need to get together in here on this. I think we need to get together. I think we need to gather. We need to gather. We need to get together, and we need to push forward. They're doing well. I wish them well. I hope they're okay. And let's use what they've learned, their experience, and move forward. And yeah. Marvin Alvarez says, so where's Jassy? She's not on the Sadi Clea. Is she missing? It is worrying. Yes. You haven't watched the news? 50, yeah, 55, News 55. You're probably waiting for the Spanish one. I think he's waiting for the Spanish version. Yeah, she's been missing since the 20th of November. And she's not here. She hasn't been seen for about a month. So she basically just vanished. Big E. That's right. She's not in the Asteropus. Thank you, John. I think Mary's on the new shit, the Big E, isn't she? Yeah, that's right, the Big E. I'm a bit tired. You're right. She's not in the Asteropus. I got confused. She's on the Big E. Yes, with the new captain that was working with Captain Gorel, Max, for short. Max. Yeah, he is the new captain of the Big E. Yes. That's correct. Marvin Alvarez says, I think that if Jessie grows up, she will look just exactly like Svadou Vera, but she's still herself. Yeah, I wonder what she would look like. You're right. Yeah, I wonder what she would look like. That would be interesting to see. Maxwell. Right, yeah. That's his name. Yeah, he's the new captain of the Big E. That's right, the Big E. The Big E. What does the E stand for? Big E. The Big Elizabeth? The Big Ellie? I don't know. Marvin says, I think that all of us who are here want to go home already. We are tired of this. Yes, we are. A lot of people are very, very tired. I sometimes just exhausted. I think I'm exiting, not soon, but I'm tired. But we should keep going. Definitely keep going through this. Now, what else I saw in the chat that people were saying? I think that's it, guys. Yeah, I think that's all. The Big E. I think the Big E, Eagle. Oh, eagle. Could be the big eagle. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, you're right. Um, it could be eagle. Yeah, the big eagle. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's it. I am quite. I am exhausted. I am shocked. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just speechless. I am worried. Still a little bit worried. Not so much though. I'm sad. I am quite sad. Uh, and I think we are in a little bit of shock, everybody. Um, but I am quite confident in the competence of the military force here and the leadership of Captain Gorel. Yeah, I have so much faith in him. I really do. And I feel that gives me comfort. I don't know where that comes from, but yeah, that gives me comfort. I think, yeah, I think we just need to gather, push forward, uh, just take a breather and wait for more news from Mary. Let's hope we don't hear more similar news. I don't know what else can happen. Uh, yeah, and let's hope we hear back from, Athena, who's been in contact, who was communicating with Gosha and Robert, Dorcalel, and yeah, and Darcy, obviously. I wonder how she's going to come back. I wonder what she's doing. It's going to be interesting. Robert Australia says we have to remember when you are out in space, there's no room for incompetence. Yeah, you can't just get out and push a ship home. Yeah, but the thing is that I don't think they were incompetent before. That's the thing. I don't think they were incompetent from the get go. I think things just escalated, and that's how they became incompetent. They just because they were so isolated, so nobody realized that they needed to step up. That a new crew needed to come in with more experience and expertise on this and help them out, and so that's how I see it. I don't think it started like this, in all honesty. Yeah, I don't think so. I could be really wrong, but really, I don't think so. I hope not. But you are right. You are right. That's what I said yesterday. That's exactly what you say. That's why I was angry in my previous video in English. Because by the time I did my Spanish live the next day, I think the next day, I cannot remember anymore. I was not angry anymore because I let out the anger on the Spanish live stream. But I was quite angry, and I was thinking, how can there be incompetence here? I mean, how can this go for so long? Why wasn't this detected? Why wasn't the military force put in place? I mean, this is dangerous place here. They can see it. There is a regressive federation. Why steps were not taken? I was angry, and you're right. There was incompetence there, most certainly. They just didn't see it coming. I don't think they saw it coming. Uh, and that's what I think isolation in some ways does to you. They are going to take advantage of everything now and and use it against you. So yeah, uh, uh, you're right. Incompetence is the word that is fully loaded. Yes, yes. Marvin, thanks a lot to you, Ellie, for everything. Please stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sleep well. I know. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to sleep well. When you're so tired, you can't sleep. So I'm going to have to do something there. Eat well. Yes, you're right. I do. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. You're right. I have to remember that. Yeah. Robert says you can't put some in a med bed and say, oh, well, there is no instruction manual. That's incompetent. Yeah, that's the thing. They were being attacked. So they were not thinking. They were being manipulated. And they were under a trance, so you do things that you shouldn't do. You take action when you shouldn't. They were being attacked. That's the thing. So I think, yeah, there was incompetence there, but they were not being themselves. Basically, someone else took over them, and they did things that they shouldn't have done. Yeah, I think that's what really happened. It's quite sad, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. How can they need therapy? I think after that, it's quite shocking. I hope they're okay. Seriously. Yeah, exactly. I wonder how long this astral attack had been going on. So the investigations, I'm sure they are still investigating. They are taking action, and yeah, I'm quite I have comfort now that everything is taken care of. They're being taken care of now. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the conversation and keeping me company. I really wanted to do this. I was going to do this tomorrow, but I thought, no, I have to do it today or else I'm not going to be able to sleep. So tomorrow, the video, Mary's video, News 55, is going to come out in Spanish. So I'm going to do the live in Spanish then. And yeah, let's see what else Mary has to say. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Take care. Be well. Relax. And let's take a breather. Sleep well. Eat well, as Marvin said. And yeah, let's gather. I think we need to gather now and push forward. So thank you, everybody. It's nice talking to everybody. Thank you. Love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.